Alright, what's going on, guys? I've got approximately an hour, maybe a little more, to stream, and I've got some stuff to do. I did a little bit of work off camera last night, but I'll show you when I intro that I've got both pugs on my lap, which is mildly uncomfortable, but we'll get it done. So I've started making the Good Dreams charging state, so essentially in-game, actually, this works right now. So you hit, I've added these guys, so they move, they glow, you hit them, they glow, and they kind of bounce away from you, and then you get them, you go into this kind of charging state, and they kind of do that little explosion. I actually want to edit that explosion a wee bit. But, the charging state, as you can see, was just me going and glowing, so I'm basically making a scene, which we'll add when we're charging, so that way it looks fucking cool. And so I'll show you what this looks like right now. As it is right now, though, you wouldn't be able to see it because it's going to be blocked. But check this out. Look at that. How dope does that look? I mean, I don't even know what's happening right now. Anyway, so yeah, you'll be in the middle of that. So we're going to add a few more things to it. One being some cool particle effects. Particles are real easy to do in Godot. So I'm going to go ahead and add a particles 2D node. Not a CPU particles. And we'll come in here, we'll go to process material, and we'll add a new particles material. This will probably be like 12. We'll need to, of course, check on that. One. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Here, I gotta fix this real quick. So these just explode, essentially, when they're done. And now, yeah, I haven't made particles in a while. But what I like to do is you go to color here, and we add a new gradient texture. Go to that, add a new curve. Open that, and when we open this curve, essentially what we do is just near the end here, I'll go ahead and add a point. See, this should be up there. Oh wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, okay. Is it different? Am I tripping? Oh, that's because I was in variation. Exactly. Okay, cool. So go here, new gradient texture, open into that, gradient, new gradient. Come here. We want these both to be at the white, right, which basically means no color. And then I'm going to have this fade out to a nice, we're just going to take the opacity down. Opacity. Opacity? Opacity? So we'll take this down to that. So right near the end of their life cycle, instead of just disappearing, they fade out, which I think is a better look. Oh my god. Yeah, so we'll be doing that. And that should be good. And then in the Good Dreams charging, we'll add these new particles here. And then I don't... I feel like I should just make these stars. I'll just do stars. My voice has been cracking a lot. I have no idea why. I promise you guys I've been through puberty, but clearly it's not my favorite today. Okay, so we got to think about... I'm going to quickly add an instance of Perry here. So that way I can get exactly how... Oh, this is interesting. Because the center of Perry is not there. So what we actually need to do is move this down just a tad. Oh shit, though. So fuck it. If we move the rings, now it's gonna be such a pain in the buttocks. A pain in the buttocks. So what I'll do is center him in there to where it looks about centered to me, and then we'll take the whole thing and then center it there. And that should theoretically work out. Anyway, so then we can just kind of see. So I'm going to add these particles here, and they're going to be about the size of him. So I'm going to go to a mission shape. Yeah, we're going to change this to a sphere, and we want the sphere to be about as big as he is. So probably somewhere like that. Yeah, that's probably solid. About that size. Yeah. That should be cool. Maybe a little bit smaller. So we'll go to 35. And then I'm going to do a few things here. We're going to go textures. I'm going to go ahead, go here, and we'll go dreams. We've got the Good Dreams texture there. Okay. And then we'll do a lot to change this. That's obviously not how it's going to work. We'll do visibility, material. They've made this very convoluted. But you go to here, new canvas material, click into this. Particles animation on, then you add all this stuff, and we can change this because there's 4 things there. And then no vertical frames. What's this? Render priority. What's this? loop. That is true. We want this to loop. Okay, cool. And then we'll go into here to animation and change the speed to whatever we want it to be. So yeah, I think 5 looks good to me. And then we could add a little bit of speed randomness. I'll add like 0.1. So we'll do 0.2 speed randomness. So that just gives a little bit extra variation there. I'm not going to do any curves or anything like that. But then of course we're going to need to change the scale because that looks pretty weird. Just like 0.1 maybe. I think that might be a little small. Here, we'll do 0.2. And then, yeah, 0.2 is good because that's about as big as I'd want it. And then we'll set the randomness to 1. Oh, no, we won't. No, we will not. 0.1. Set this to 0.1 as well. Oh, yeah, I forgot. If you do a randomness curve for some reason a randomness when you're below 1 on scale, it doesn't tend to work perfectly correctly. So your best bet is to actually set this 1, do a random scale, and then actually change the overall thing of it there. But I don't really want to do that, so we'll just do it this way. Just kind of mess with these until we get a value that I like. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to come up here to time is good, flags, direction. And the direction doesn't particularly matter, actually. Nor does the spread. But then, well, here, we'll set the spread to 180. So that way it's coming out of all directions. And then we're going to set the gravity equal to 0. And then we're going to set the orbit velocity equal to, there's no orbital acceleration, right? Yeah, no, there's not. Equal to 1. That's huge. Okay, more like 0.1. Cool. And then I guess we're going to need to make this a wee bit bigger, huh? So I'm going to set the radial acceleration to maybe 1, maybe 3. So radial acceleration means like expanding from the center like that. And so we want that to happen for jerseys. Let's do like 0.3. Oh, that's orbit. That is actually more what I want for the orbit velocity. And then the radial, the radial acceleration we'll set equal to like 10 maybe. Doesn't really look like they're accelerating very much though, which is interesting. 20. Because we want them, well here, let's mess with the emission state is clearly not big enough. Sorry. So I'm gonna bump this like, let's do like 50. That's solid. And then we'll take up the radial acceleration. Like if we do it like massive, you can see that what's happening there. That's actually pretty good. I like that. And then, so we'll do, yeah, we'll just put that to 45 because they're like round numbers. And we'll set this to 0.3. So that way there's a little bit of randomness in that as well. I think the more randomness you add to these things, the more complex they look and just the cooler they look. And then we're going to, so we got scale solid, angle. I guess we could have them all rotating in themselves a little bit. So that we'd go to angular velocity. And we'd set that to like something like 5. What does that look like? Maybe 20? 50? That's very, what if we set it to like 200? That's actually not insane to me. I think if we go to 150 and then we set the randomness here to 0.5, that might be one thing where I don't like it. I don't like the additional randomness. It looks like we also don't need this many particles too. So I'll set this to back to 8, I think is the default. See what that looks like. We need a little more than that. 10. Okay, and I think I want a little more radial acceleration here. Set that to 55. I'm going to get near the edge of the circles here. That looks pretty good to me. And then of course, I'm actually going to increase this to 0.5. We got a lot more. Okay, that looks good, that looks good. Angular velocity, I think that's good at 150 with a randomness ratio of 0.5, but we can set that to 1 even. That'd probably, yeah, it's only helping. Okay, now with all of that set, yeah, I think it's basically time to finish it up by going to the color and doing a little color curve. So we're going to add a color ramp, new gradient texture, add the new gradient, click into the gradient, go here. We're going to add a white. And so this is how I do a fade in, fade out effect. So we do something like that. And then in these first colors, we go grab here and we bring the opacity, or fuck, how do you say that? Is it opacity or opacity? Anybody in the chat? I'm listening to the chat, so let me know. But you can see now they kind of fade in, fade out, and it's not quite so abrupt. Oh, the time on screen I think definitely needs to be longer. Like this, like 5 even. Oh, see, but now that messes with everything. Yeah, so, but that's actually, I think that's a lot better. Okay, let's change that back to like 3. And then let's bring down the radial acceleration a tad now, back to 45. And I think we're going to need a faster orbital velocity. Oh, yes, here we go. We're going to change, oh no, the explosive is at 0, so it should be continually spawning. Because if we do like something like 1 here, I'll show you, then it spawns all of the particles all at once, which is not what we want, because we want this to look like more contiguous. I mean, that's interesting, but that's definitely not what I want. I mean, we could set it to like 0.1, and then let's do this, so they all disappear here. Yeah, I think we want this at 0. So that way they're coming out one after the other. And then I think I do want to add a little bit of lifetime randomness. So you can do that right here, and you can set that on a scale, again, of 0 to 1, 1 being super duper random. And so I think 0.3 is going to give us just enough randomness to bring us together. It looks like they are a tad, they're going a little bit too far there. So I'm going to bring that in. I want them to stay within the bounds of those 2 overlapping circles there. So yeah, we'll bring, I think we want to bring down, because if we set this to 0, right, and then just take a look, you can see that that's about what we got. So I think we'll set this to 35, and then we'll see what that looks like. Almost solid. I think we'll just bring that down just a teensy bit more. Well, no, you know what? I'm going to keep them at 45, and then what I'm going to do is take the sphere radius down to 40. And that should give us a similar effect of not letting them go out nearly as far. But yeah, that's really cool. I think that's a really cool looking effect there. And then I think I want to increase the orbital velocity a teensy bit. Let's actually bring this down a teensy bit more to 40. You know what? No, we're going to do this. We're going to bring this to 30 and bring this to 45 again. Because I want them to actually have quite a bit of movement. Yeah, that looks better to me. And then what we'll do, you can add tangential acceleration here, and it would actually look, actually might look cool. Let's do this real quick. I'm going to set the radial acceleration to 0 just for a sec, and then see what this looks like with tangential acceleration. No. No. Wait, where's the orbital? So go to the orbit velocity. I think this needs to be higher to look a little faster. That might be cool though. And then I think if we add this back now, the degree of 40. It looks like the tangential, okay, let's do this, 100. That's an interesting look. We could bring this back to 1. That's obviously, whoa, that's weird. Okay, bring this to like 0.7. Why is it staying so tight and grouped now? Let's bring this to 50. That's not what I want either. That's for sure way too small. I think I'll just get rid of the tangential. I mean, it was looking fine. We don't need that. Maybe I'll actually add like a teensy bit, like 0.1 maybe. Add just a little bit of interest. The orbital velocity is now a little too fast, I think. 0.6, probably good. And then we'll change the, that's weird that the, like, is radial acceleration not doing, oh, because of the randomness? Like, if we set this to like 500, they should, yeah, okay, cool. So now, I don't understand why. Whoa, interesting. Oh, because I set it to 20 instead of 200. There we go. All right, what's that look like? What's interesting, they're like coming back in. Oh, that's because we have the tangential acceleration. Oh! Oh. Okay, I think this is going to look cool. I think that's a very cool effect right there. But now I think I want a faster orbital velocity. I mean, this is all this is, right? This is just like tweaking and getting things where you want them. Because we also got to take into effect, and we can't really do that until we see this in game, how fast these things are spinning. So I know a few people joined, so I'll actually just go ahead and show that right now. I can't zoom out Godot here. But if we grab this, snag this right there. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I liked it a lot, actually. Especially when he's going to be right there. I might add another ring in the center to really kind of like sell it. But yeah, I think that's dope for a little power up. The Killer to Great, what's going on, bro? I have moved past just making a simple platformer since you last checked mute. Let's move this. Oh, dude, one of my pugs just farted. It is rank. That is not... Oh, my God. Wow. Wow. I mean, that's why you get pugs, right? Is to... for the smells. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do here is set the pre-process to 1. And that will just make it so there's not a point where they start to spawn. I want them to be fully into the cycle by the time this happens. And that should be good. I think I like the life cycle and everything like that. We can increase the modulate ever so slightly on these guys. Let's see. I wonder if I can even see them from here. No, of course I can't. But I think I want to. So if we go to visibility, I'm going to make them glow just a teensy bit more by setting the red to 1.1 and then the blues to 1.1. Got a nice pink hue to them. And then let's just smooth them right there. Of course I put them. That's pretty cool. I think it looks very like three-dimensional to have them like that. Yeah, I feel like there's more I could do, but I kind of just need to move the hell on. Oh yeah, dude, I showed it in the beginning. I actually can't right now, but I got both of them on me. I really wish I could show you this. I don't think. This is, yeah, no, this is an iMac, and that would be fairly dangerous. Okay, fuck, here we go. I'm gonna break the screen. Okay, anyway, I've got 2 pugs right there on one arm, so we're in there. My water's out in my apartment, so I haven't showered. I used some bottled water to brush my teeth. But yeah, it's a good hardcore gamer's day here in the big city. Okay, so right there, that's sweet. Now, so the idea is that we'll spawn this. Perry will spawn this when we go into charging mode, and then delete it when he dies. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab this as a variable. We'll stick it right here. So say variable. Good dream charging. Okay. Equals preload, and we'll snag that seam. There it is. Preload. Oh yes, the other thing I almost forgot to do, which I always do, is we need to save this particle so we cache it and we don't get any lag from it, which is always pretty annoying. We'll save that. Good dream scene. Dreams. Oh yeah, same thing. Save that right here. Yep, and then we'll go into here, go into our particles cache scene. And go var good dreams charging equals preload, and then we'll grab that right there. Okay, and then charging. Good dreams charging. Okay, cool. This script, if that's what you're asking, this is a particles cache. So essentially, particles, when you're using these particles 2Ds nodes instead of the CPU particles, Godot compiles all the information to run these particles at runtime. And so oftentimes that causes like a blip of lag. On this computer, I probably wouldn't see anything. But on like my old Mac and I'm sure on a lot of people's like older computers that they're playing on, you get like a bunch of lag when you do that. So to prevent that, what I do is I made this little script. Essentially, I preload these particles, and then I force Godot to do all that compiling before the game even loads up. So this is an auto-loaded script. It does it's the very first thing that loads is this particle cache script, where we're forcing Godot to compile them. And then we're also emitting a signal that says, oh, particles have been cached, and once that is emitted, then the game starts. So this is usually only something like maybe 3-4 seconds to do once I get all the particles in the game. But it's nice to just get that all up front so then there's no lag in your game. I actually made a tutorial on how to do it, but I mean, you could probably just copy this code here and then figure it out. This is actually a slight change to that, where I figured out how to use the yield function in Godot, which is really cool. So it yields for a signal. So I made my own signal called particles cached. We emit that here. And then in the very first script of my game, which is going to be this one, we are just waiting. Here we go. Yield for the particles cache script for this signal. So on the ready function, we're not going to start anything until that signal is emitted. So it's pretty cool. It's a nice little yield feature. But anyway, so we've done that with those particle effects that I just made. We've got good dream charging equals preload. So we got that here. And then essentially what I'm going to do is spawn it and queue it free. But there is a, oh fuck, I forgot what that is. Forgot what I did that. So I know I want it to spawn here and die here, but this is a signaled function. Is it? Charging good dream. Function charging good dream. No, it's right there. So this is all the code that will run in the physics process. Right now I have none. This might not even exist for that. So I think, yeah. So now what we need to do is make an instance of that scene. So we'll say good dream charging. We'll say, okay, charging var charging underscore animation equals good dream charging dot instance, and then we'll say charging animation dot, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Oh god, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Okay, we'll do add underscore child charging animation. And I guess we need to do, well, all right, let's see. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, so that actually works out beautifully. I like that a lot, except I do want it to show up behind the character, I think. I want it behind the character. So what I'm going to do is just go here and change the Z index and make that down 1. Make sure that worked. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that. And the idea was that once I'll code this in, but from this state, you'll be able to like shoot giant dream bolts. Obviously, we need to make this disappear at this point. But, boom, boom. Whoa. Oh, that's trippy as hell. I don't know if I like that better, dude. What do you guys think of that? Dude, yeah, I literally just figured it out. There's a lot of issues with it. The only thing I ever used it for before was yield.getTreeTimerTimeout, right? And it waits for it, so that way you don't have to add a timer node. But there's a bunch of problems with that. Like if your scene changes or the node that is running, the node from which that script is running is queued free, your game will crash. They're going to make it a lot better. So honestly, don't spend too much time learning it, because in Godot 4.0, if you're planning on upgrading, they're going to change a lot of stuff about yield to make it more useful, more user-friendly, not crash your game, stuff like that. But just figuring out how to use it with that yield signal is epic. I mean, that's probably the only time I'll use it I could think of other times to use it now, but yeah. So I don't know. Did you guys see that? Like, what did you think about? So okay, let's do that again. Is it better to just do these two? I mean, I'm sure Godot can handle it. So this two, I think it would be cooler to do like at least double that. Would look freaking epic. So let's just do this. So I'm going to duplicate these two rings. Oopsies. Do it this way. We'll do duplicate, duplicate. Okay, stick this here. And then I'll need to do, actually I'll just do it this way. It's a little easier. Boom. And then this will be 3, 3. And this will be 4, 4. Okay. And then again, we'll do this. And this will be 3. And this will be 4. And then, so yeah, so this is literally all I did to do that. It's, so in the physics process of these, I'm grabbing them and then I'm just saying rotate by 0.1. And this is in radians, and I think it's about 5 degrees. So 5 degrees per physics frame, which gets you about that. It's a really trippy looking thing. So then if these are right in phase with those, then it'll look different. So what I want to do is then rotate both of these guys by 45 degrees. Yeah. Oh, dude. Okay. Very excited. Let's see if this works real quick. Okay, that looks crazy. We might have to bring it down to 3, but let's check it out. Check it out, check it out, check it out. God damn it. Okay, so they're not as out of phase as I would like. I'd like it to be more even. But I do think that looks pretty gnarly. That looks a little bit too much to me. So I think I'm going to get rid of ring 4. Oh, that was probably the one we want to keep, though. Let's get rid of ring 3. Ah, but therein lies the problem, because now ring 3 is not going to be moving it. Okay, so we got rid of ring 4. Now I'm going to rename this ring 3. Then we'll come in here. My back is killing me. Okay, we'll do this. Okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, what do you think? 3? I think 3 looks cool. Okay, though. I won't lie, that looks so freaking epic that I just don't know. Should I do that? Look at that. That looks like you have so much freaking power. That reminds me of like a Naruto type deal. Yeah, that's going to be too much. Okay, but, you know, maybe we got to do that, huh? I feel like there's a better way to do this than physically doing this. Not a whole lot better, but... yeah, I'm just going to duplicate these bad boys. I think I'm going to just try it with 3, because I think that looks fucking cool. Oh, that's not what I want to do. We'll duplicate these 3. So we'll duplicate them. And then we will transform, and I'll do this 90 degrees. I guess that's actually not what we want. We probably want to do 45 degrees, huh? Yeah, so then everything's like perfectly out of phase there. Well, here, let's see. If we just add one more ring here, and then we make that ring go, transform, 90, that's what we want, more than that. It's going to be 135. Yeah, there we go. That's what you want. That looks freaking crazy. Okay. Okay. Let's do this again. Actually, it's probably easier for me to just type it. This is almost certainly not the most programmatically friendly way to do this, but we're doing it anyway. Actually, this would be faster though. Okay. And let's give it a shot. Hopefully this looks as cool as I think it will. See, it's like, it's weird. They don't look like they're in phase as much as I would like them to be. How did I get that to happen before? Yeah, I mean, obviously that looks freaking nuts, but like, how do I replicate that, you know? I also just realized the massive problem with my system for how the good dreams work in doing that, because they're dying, and essentially every time when you hit it, you connect the signal, but that's not what I want. I want you to connect this. I'll say if connected and health is less than or equal to 0. I think that should fix that, because essentially what oh, thanks dude. So essentially the problem with this was that, so this is like when you hit, I made it so that when you hit the dream, it connected the signal good dream open, so that way you get the power up when it dies. But then I realized if you do this, you only have to hit it once, and then you could just let it go hit the bottom of the screen, and then you'd still get the power up. I want you to have to like bust open the power up, like in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, I think it was, where you like get that token thing. It's funny because I didn't have that idea in mind at first, but then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, that's what I'm making, essentially. And so connected, and so health has to be less than or equal to 0. So basically, you have to have killed this thing in order to get it, is what that does. And I think that should work. So if we just, that's not what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Okay. Yeah, so it still works. I don't love the way that looks, and I don't know why. I don't know why it works so well when we have I mean, to make this easier on myself to test, I think I'm going to make this a little more programmatic here. So I'm going to make a quick variable var rot equals 0.1, and then we'll make I'll do this. So I'll do var rings equals, and we'll do this in an array, and then we'll just add ring 1, and there we go, ring 2, ring ting. I did it again. Ring 3 and ring 4. 4. I still gotta look at my keyboard, you guys. That's why you don't like it. You know, if I ring, oh, because this needs to be an on ready var. There we go. Why you still, oh, motherfucker. Okay, I'm gonna cut that, stick it right here for organizational purposes. Rings, yeah, so we'll just add all the rings there. And then what I'll do here is that I'll say for ring in rings, ring dot rotate rot times -1. And then, so the idea here, god damn it, am I doing it again? I still am. What is wrong with me? I swear when I'm reading code, I mean, I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm like slightly dyslexic. I swear, like, particularly with computers, I don't feel good, but I constantly misread things. Like, even I'll look at something, misread it, and then, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I met a guy who was actually dyslexic, and I told him about that, and he definitely was very offended. So I got to be careful when I say that. But, you know. So the idea here is we're multiplying the rotation by -1, so every other ring should rotate in the opposite. So no, this will cause them all to rotate in the same direction. So we need to do rot times equals -1, and then we'll do this. Yeah, so then we're getting the opposite of the ring every single time. So rot times equals -1, -0.1, and then the next time we run through the loop, we're going to change the value again. Oh, but I do see, that's so funny. There's an issue with this, and that is that it's going to like stutter if you don't have an exact even amount of rings. So we go negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. Yeah, so if you have an odd number of rings, this won't work. This only works for an even number of rings, because then you're going to start stuttering. But this should work right now. Yeah, that works right now. That's good. But then, yeah, we have to have an even number of rings for this to work. Wait, could I just have this rotate? No, that wouldn't work. We got to have each ring rotate individually. There are no shortcuts to success. I mean, sometimes there are, and if they are, I will do them. But if there's not, then, you know, try to find another shortcut. Whatever, you know, whatever it takes to be successful. Or not. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. So in the one that looks really cool, we have 6 rings, and they start just slightly after one another. But they're on the same rotation speed. Hence, what we should be able to do here is, so I'm going to delete this ring right now. I'm going to just duplicate these rings, so 4 rings, 4, 5, and 6, and then I'm going to transform these and give them the entire thing in rotation degrees of 45. Okay, so now we've got a little something like that. And I don't know exactly how this is going to work. Yeah, I definitely don't know how exactly this is going to work, but we'll see. So then what I can do here is just do this, and we'll do boom, boom. We'll do 5, 6, nope, 6, 6, and then ring 5, ring 6. I don't think this is exactly where I wanted it, but let's give it a shot, huh? I'm spinning. How I make use of Gonky joystick in my pocket, in my project. Can you explain? Also, I saw your gamepad, but I also don't this one too. Like, how do I do 3D mobile touchscreen joystick? I don't know I don't know what a Gonky joystick is. Love that. I love Shia LaBeouf. Oh, like one of those things? The bigger ones? I think I actually... Oh! He's a guy on YouTube, and he made this joystick.
Backgrounds the area, and this is the
other. Oh, interesting. I did my joystick differently than he did his. I would go check out my... I think you said you already saw it, but go check out my Godot gamepad project and check out how I did mine. How I make use of the joystick. So mine is a lot more clear cut, right? So all of my characters move by something... Oh, no. No, Beanie. Oh. I just got juiced by my pug. If you don't know what that is, bless you. Getting juiced by your pugs is they squirt out their pheromones. Oh, it's pungent. Oh. Okay. Anyway, so all my characters move by, in all my games, we go to movement. They move by this. So I get an input vector, which is a normalized vector giving you the direction in which you're moving. So here I'm only calculating, because it's a platformer, left and right, I'm not calculating up and down, but usually I have input vector.y equals, down minus up or whatever. And essentially what we're doing with my joystick is that the joystick is calculating the input vector for you based on which direction it is. So from the center, we're this from the center, that's the angle, and it calculates the input vector, and then it sends that input vector to the game, right? Via UDP signals. Doesn't matter if you don't. That's like wireless. You don't have to know what UDP means. And so when that happens, then you just stick that in your game. So I would literally just say, the input vector equals. Like here I would say input vector equals joystick.input vector. And then, that's basically how you do it. And then everything is normal. So I'd do like this, like velocity, move and slide velocity, or like velocity plus equals, max speed times input vector, whatever, like this. Okay. But anyway, I need to get going on this because I'm a fool. See what this looks like. That's pretty cool. It's not quite what I was imagining, but I think that looks dope. Looks pretty powerful. I think I'm gonna stop with that though. Yeah. Okay, so we'll keep it with that. That looks good. And then we now need to make it so that it can destroy itself. So I'm actually going to connect it with a signal, I think, which is, so we'll make this is going to be my first signal in this class. Jesus Christ, I've got a lot of freaking variables already. So I put signals down here. So we'll do signal, good dream ended. Okay, actually signals are supposed to be written. Good dream ended. And then I don't need any arguments for it. But then we'll come down here and we'll say on timer timeout, on good dream timer timeout, we will say emit signal, good dream ended. Okay. And then what we'll do here is we'll just connect that signal. So we'll say self, right? Yeah, self. We don't need to write self. Connect good dream ended to charging animation, and then we'll just make this underscore on good dream ended like that, and then we just need to create this function in the good dreams charging, and I'll go right here and we'll do function this on good dream ended, and then we'll just say, for right now I'm just gonna say queue free, but we'll add some cool like death animation for it. I'll probably just make it shrink real fast. Yeah, that'll be cool, and that should work. I think he needs to glow more though. Jesus, it's taking a while. There we go. Okay, cool. So that works. I mean, we always needed functionality, but it looks pretty, and that's dope. Yeah, dude, no problem with the bad English. Yo hablo español si tú hablas, pero English and Spanish is all I know. And my Spanish is not too hot, so I've been teaching myself over the last year, so that's about all the Spanish I know. Not that, but like a year's worth of Spanish. But your name is Vikram, so I don't think that's a Spanish name. Or Latin American. Yeah, so that's, I mean, well, I think I'll do some more work to that eventually to make that a little cooler. The death animation, Jesus, dude, that's a lot of rings. There's got to be a better way to do this, but that's the way I'm doing it, folks. And I don't mind it. I don't hate it. You know, it's all right. Have things been made better? Yes, they have. Do I give a shh? Yes, I do. I could make these behind the whole thing, and then they could be like moving like out around it. That would be cool. Or we could just keep it like this and keep it simple, stupid. Let's you know what? Let's do that. Let's increase the radial acceleration to 200. 300. Okay, so now it's doing that, and then I'm going to go down to the visibility. Sorry, the easy index, and we're going to make this -1, so that way it's behind all these. Yeah, I think that works a little better. And then I think I'm going to increase the number of particles just a tad now. Yeah, that's good. That's solid. Okay, save that. And there's that. And then what I also want to do is fix the way I did this, because it's rather convoluted, where I'm basically tweening up and then tweening down and doing all this weird stuff to make when these guys disappear. But I think it would work just fine if, in fact, I just set these and then put a delay on the tween down here. Okay, yeah, so these hit tween to interpolate property, and we're interpolating our, no, that's if you're hit. This is the wrong place. Okay, we want to come down here to die, and then here, instead of, the death tween, instead of interpolating the death tween, what we're going to do is just, so I'm going to do this. And then I'm just going to set those values. So we're going to say, so modulate, we'll do set modulate, set underscore modulate. And then we're going to set it to this color. And then we're going to do set underscore scale. And we're going to set it to the scale. I mean, I could have typed that. Didn't know it was that simple. Just double the size. And then what I'm going to do here is make this tween go right here. Okay. Like that. And so this is the tween that shrinks the star down. Transquad. Quad. We want to make this a trans bounce. There it is. Ease in out. And that should go like whoa, whoa, whoa. Even though it's only over 0.1 second. Oh no, here's the delay. The delay is 0.1 seconds, and then I think I'm going to make this last, not 0.5 seconds, 0.1 seconds itself. So it'll be big. It'll be big for a tenth of a second, and then it'll shrink in. Let's do that. Let's do 0.15. Let's start real big, and let's do 0.2 seconds. That would mean the entire, I don't want it to take, how long was it taking before? So 0.1 seconds. So it's taking a total of 2.5 or 0.25 seconds. So if I do this, I like the timing already, then it's still taking a total of 0.25 seconds from when you hit it till when it dies, the power up here. So that should be good, and then we just need to change this a little bit. I'm gonna comment this out, and then we'll just say keep free. So that simplifies it, and it might just look better. It might also not. We'll see. I couldn't even see it because of this gnarly shit there. That's gonna be. Play it. I can't even see it. But you know what? I think the fact that I can't see it is fine, because this is how it's actually going to look in game. So that's fine. In fact, I might even set the color higher, like something gnarly like this. And then we'll see. Yeah, that looked fine. These look good. The stars look good. I think I'm going to take their radial acceleration down a teensy bit. So I want them to stay within it, but not by much. So the radial acceleration here is currently at 300, so I think 250 will probably bring them just touching the outside of the circle. Yeah, I want them to stay within it, and that will look quite cool. That's what we want right there. Okay, save that. So now I've got that. Now it's time to... I mean, I guess it'd be pretty easy to just make this thing like tween out exactly the way I did that. So I like the way I did this. So I can now delete all of this, which is nice because I like the way this looks without this. Much easier and simpler. And yeah, I mean, just look at how much more readable that all is now. Okay, now ladies. Yeah. So yeah, so I ladies. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Get those dogs off me. My hip flexors were killing me. Okay, so we've got that. And this is how this dies. And now we don't need this variable, which is nice. That's cool. Okay, I don't think I mentioned that anywhere else in here. No errors. But what I want to happen is that when it hits the ground, so essentially we've got two hits. If it hits if Perry smacks it, right, it bounces away a little bit and glows. But then if, oh, my mouse is lagging. I'll switch over to this. My trackpad tends to work better. Oh, that's also lagging. Don't know why. Well, now it's working, of course, right when I pull this up. I have Affinity Designer open, but I'm using 31 gigs of RAM. Okay. Yeah, this computer is 64 gigs of RAM. Pretty excited about that. I definitely don't need to keep this open. Quit. Don't save that one. Here we go. That'll help a little bit. I don't think Affinity... Actually, Affinity Designer was #1. I didn't read how much RAM it was using. If anyone saw, shoot it in the chat, because I am interested, but I'm not going to open it up again to check. So yeah, if you're smacked... So if Perry hits it, this happens. But if you hit the ground, I also want it to die. You have to get it before it hits the ground, otherwise you lose your opportunity, essentially. So it's like, you know, you've got a certain amount of time to go kill this thing. And then there's going to... Obviously, people are going to be shooting stuff at you. So it makes it more difficult to do that, but it's worth the risk because you get this epic just power up. So on hitbox body entered, if body.closing layer equals 8, meaning if you hit the ground, I'm calling the die function, but do I want the die function? Or do I want just a much simpler thing? Yeah, I think what I'll do here is just do hit tween dot interpolate property, and then we'll do self. The node path is going to be modulate. Jeez, forgot it's not gonna. And we'll do whatever our modulate is at that point, and we'll do this over 0.25 seconds. Because clearly that's a solid amount. And we'll go, oh no, that's wrong. We need something here, and this is going to be color 1110. Okay, so that just essentially, this is completely opaque. So we're essentially, I'm setting up a tween to fade this out. And we can do this. I like it when it does that. And then I'll do a bounce, and then I'll do in and out like that. And then I like to do this to separate them just a tad. Come down here, do hit tween dot start. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and check out what that looks like. Get out of the way here. See it hit the ground. Okay, and then I think I can pause movement if moving. So yeah, I can say moving false. Okay, moving equals false. I want it to stop. And then I do think, let's see, let's go to easings.net. Yeah, I'm gonna do ease and bounce for. Oh, hey, Bean Bean, come back up. No juicy lady. No juicy lady. Just about. Look at the camera. Okay. So, yeah, you comfy bitch. I need something for my. I'm gonna get carpal tunnel, but that's 11:17. Uh-oh, gotta hurry up because I gotta have lunch ready for my girlfriend because she's coming back from. She got a very tight schedule today. She's in medical school and she's about to have to go to the clinic. And if I don't make her lunch, she's gonna be hungry. And then no tang. Okay. So yes, I want to modulate the size to get a little bit bigger and then shrink down. So I think to actually do that, I want elastic. Yeah, that's what I want. I want elastic. These in elastic, and then so I'll do hit tween. Dot interpolate property. Self. Scale, and then modulate. No, scale. Calls. Scale, and then vector 2. 0.25. 0.25. Okay. Oh, there's a lot missing, you guys. Why would you guys let me do that? That could have been horrible, and you guys would have just been fine with it. Okay, let's go to elastic, and then ease in, and then we'll go ahead and stick this on a new line. So it's a little clearer. We'll do this to separate that out just a tad. I just think that makes it easier to read. Like, I think this is way easier to read than having stuck it all together. This is actually pretty. This is still a little fucking ugly, in my opinion. But yeah. Yeah, I'll just... Okay. Now, let's go ahead and check that out. It didn't shrink. Why didn't it scale? I didn't see it shrink. Did you guys see it shrink? I didn't see it shrink. Okay, let's do this. Do that, and then I'll put a delay here at 0.05 seconds on that. Do you have any idea how to make something like a Steam key for the game? That was sweet. That's what I want right there. A Steam key for the game. Well, I mean, I don't think you'd make that in Godot. I think or Godot, whatever. I think you would actually make that from, like, I know you can do that on itch. Like, when you upload your game, you have an option to do that. I got followed. Ludos. I freaking love this art. I love how, like, crappy good it is. Like, it's not, because you can tell he's actually a good artist. He's just intentionally trying to make it look like crappy because it's like a hysterical thing. It's like, look at the lighting. Like, you don't light like this unless you're good. This is actually really good lighting. But this is cool. Like, that's a very cool, very nice aesthetic. Yeah, I like that a lot. Interesting. Made 3 games. Put it on all platforms. That's how you know he's a good man. Thanks for passing by. I'll be quick. Don't worry. Yeah, that's cute. That's cute. Oh, he's got a YouTube channel. Check him out. Ludos GD, 24 subscribers. He's been around for a long time. Oh, he did the GMTK game jam. Oh, this is a heartbreaker, dude. Yeah, go check this guy's channel out, Ludos GD. I don't know. I'm not gonna watch the videos myself for a while. I'll probably watch them off stream. But dude, the amount of effort, you can tell he's animated these, that goes into making a devlog is like stupid. And they never get any love unless you're already big, which is what I've learned, which is why I'm like, I don't want to make another devlog. Like, look at, I mean, I've got a little lucky, like this one's got 628 views, but it's like, that's pathetic. I mean, look at this, 3,000 views practically, like, come on. I mean, even these freaking, I've gotten streams that have gotten more views than this. It's stupid. Anywhoser, yeah. So it's very depressing when you make that. But anyway, that was a little rant. It is almost 11:30. Let's see what else I can get done because I got to stop at 11:30. So as of right now, that's not it. What do we got going on that's working for us? So we've got this. If it hits the ground, it's a pretty cool little death animation. I love that. That's exactly the kind of animation I would want. Damn it. That looks pretty epic to me. I think there's more I could do to make that even cooler. But I'm happy with that. I think that looks pretty cool. It looks like I've got some power charging up. So now what I need to do is actually allow myself. So I was just thinking this. So I'm gonna essentially, when you've got that, you're gonna have 3 bullets to shoot, right? And you can shoot these like dream pellets and like take stuff out. Yo, what's up, Stefan? Yeah, so you got like 3 bullets to shoot when you've got this. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make all this code in Parry, and then when you're charging or whatever, you have that option. But no, I don't have to do that. What I can do is instead make all that code in this Good Dreams charging tab right here. And yeah, that's what I'll do. And so that way, like, I'll do all the input from here. So the aiming, I'll have like an aiming indicator. Yeah, I gotta make that in Affinity, so I won't do that right now. Maybe I'll just use the Godot icon to figure that one out. Hopefully I can steal some code from my joystick, because I think it's gonna be very... You wanna... Yeah, I think I can. I forgot how, but there's like the idea of limiting something to around a circle, like a pointer, is a little difficult, but I figured it out in my Godot joystick thing. So here, actually, let me go check that out. Oopsies. Okay, let's go. Oh, no, yeah, do want another one. Godot code, Godot gamepad, gamepad client. Oh yeah, we want to go, is it buttons? Yep, joystick. That was probably not how you should do this. Almost certainly not. What the hell's going on? Oh, I forgot that doesn't work no more. Okay, so yeah, that didn't work. But I should be able to do, this is what I want to do. I want to open with text edit here just to see what we've got in here. And then just resize that. Okay, on, ready bar, blah, 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 blah. Set anchors preset, input vector, intensity, touch index. What? I don't know what that is anymore. I made this so long ago. Held check. Calced? Oh yeah, calculated. Okay, touch button release, touch button pressed, calculate input. So this is like a legit, this is pretty cool. So I don't have my phone with me, but it also expired. When you make, I put this on my iPhone with the free account, and when you do that, it expires like every 4 days or something like that. And I did it like a month ago. So, but anyway, this is like a literal joystick on your phone that you can control your Godot games with. You can go check out my Godot gamepad. I haven't made a devlog, but I did one live stream talking about it. Devlogs are a lot of work, and they don't seem to get any love on this channel. So we'll see. We'll see if I make another one about until I get at least like, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if I get like 500 subscribers, then I'll think about making more devlogs. But I think I'm an entertaining guy, but clearly YouTube doesn't. If not held check, that's not what we want. Okay, var, which is equals event.position minus joystick center. Minus joystick center. Joystick button.set goal position, joystick pulse desired. A joystick position desired distance to base center is greater than base boundary joystick to set position base underscore center dot direction to. Okay, that's what we want right there. So I'm going to snag that. Quick notes. So I'm going to make a function, a function called, let's call it pointer, okay. And I'll post that code paste that code in there. I don't know what's happening. There's no way I'm going to do this in 4 minutes, but I'm going to get started. So we've got a joystick position desired, and we've got distance to base center. Okay, so we need to calculate the center, which should just be our global position, I believe, if we just calculate our center. So distance to self dot, yeah, we'll just do position. What's wrong with me, you guys? Position, okay. Distance to position. Now base boundary, I'm actually gonna make that a constant up here. Yeah, whatever. I can spell, right? I can't spell, so that's why. I oftentimes misspell things, and then the reason some code's not working is because I put an extra letter. Forward to watching your future devlogs. Oh, thanks, Stefan. I hope they're entertaining. I think I'm getting better too. I was a little nervous at first, and they're also harder to make. Like, I'm better just in person improving stuff typically than actually like coming up with a storyline. So it's surprisingly difficult for me to make those. Okay, so base boundary, we want to essentially just do this and look at whatever this is right there. We want it to basically hover out. Oh yeah, I forgot. For some reason in Godot you can't, if you have a mouse, or at least a magic mouse for the Apple, it looks about 150, so 150 pixels. I think that's how this would work. So base boundary equals 150. I'll make that a float. Okay. So now base boundary exists. Joystick position desired. So we'll make something called pointer. Base center. Oh, we might need to set these to global position. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't work. I'll try putting it in the game first. Okay, joystick position desired. Base boundary. We need to. This is. Oh, base center and joystick center. So this is going to be pointer dot position, and then this will be desired base center. So this is our center, so this will be position. Now we need to figure out what this is, how it works, and I don't think I'm going to do that in 1 minute. So some time ago I made some Godot tutorials, but they take a lot of work. Yeah, live stream is definitely easy. Tutorials, I think tutorials are not too bad. I can crank out a tutorial in like a day and a half. Which I like. I actually really like doing tutorials, and kind of the way I learn and the kind I just live life is that I left my phone somewhere else. I am oftentimes just like I'll talk to myself and I'll be like, this is how I do this and blah blah blah. So making tutorials, not, it's just kind of refining what I do when I talk to myself, because I'm a crazy person. And like when I cook, oh my god, it's like I have my own cooking show. I'm just like, and now we're gonna chop the onions, and this is the most proper way. And I say the same things every time. So by the time it's come time to like do some kind of tutorial, I've got that shit on wrap, which is good. But yeah. Anyway, so I need to figure out what this variable does in the old code, but I think so. This is the desired position, and this is going to be a little more difficult to calculate for me because in this instance, because here, what I'm going to do is do a search, replace, and then joy pos desired. Yeah, and we're going to say replace that with, well, here, we can actually just do joy. We could trigger that to pointer. Replace all. Okay. Now these don't exactly exist yet, so what I'll do is do I'm probably going to do onReady bar pointer equals 2. I just want it to exist. And then I guess we'll calculate pointer position. Oh fudge. I just want to clean. I don't want this to break my game. right now. So I just want to, I'm just going to do that. I mean, like, you could check out my last tutorial. I actually did quite a bit of editing, but I'm pretty good at like my editing style now. I figured everything out. I also, the way I do it, I mean, I don't think enough people are actually interested in how I make my videos, but I would love to make a video on how I make my videos. So this is like a screen shake tutorial I just did. And I cranked this thing out in a day and a half. The way I do is I record myself just doing it, and then I mute the mic, and then I talk through it like I normally would. And so when I do that, there's a lot of ums and ahs and weird pauses and stuff like that, but it makes sure that the timing is correct. And then I go back and I have this, this is like a $15 lapel microphone. And then I go ahead, this is new, and then I record myself over, and I just make sure I get everything perfect, nice, concise, exactly how I want to say it. Make sure I don't say anything confusing, because oftentimes I do. And then I stick that in, and that's actually the very last step. I edit it first, then I do the recordings after. And so yeah, I don't know, it just works very well for me. I can get all that done very quickly. But anyway, check out this tutorial because it's not getting any love, and it's a pretty sweet like screen shake system, bro. But yeah, I mean, just look at. Then you need the volume here.
So to get a screen shake,
But yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. DOS88, freaking legend. All my music is by DOS88. The guy's awesome. I can't believe he's not more popular. Tons of free music. And if you just ask him for his non-free music, he'll be like, yeah, sure, go for it. If you're putting it in a commercial game, he'll probably care. But if you're doing like a game jam, he's like, yeah, just tag me. I'm down to just get popularity, which is epic because respect.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add a script.
This first part is a little ugly, but you can see. So I zoom, you do the different code.
0 and default. Now we're going to go ahead and go into the inspector.
I mean, there's like a considerable amount of editing that goes into this, right?
One being the ready function, two node.
And then, for instance, like this was a little bit editing here. You do this, and then.
This will make it so that the process function only runs between when we call.
So I'm explaining something, and then I add this. Cause of shaking. So yeah, I mean, like it's pretty well edited. I think it looks really nice. But it's just, yeah, I use DaVinci Resolve, by the way, which is a free editing software that is epic. I used to use Premiere, Adobe Premiere. I'm getting all off Adobe. And yeah, it's been awesome. And so it's free, it's really great. It's got tons of like cool features packed in there for free. It's a little more intuitive, I think, after you start to figure it out. It's like, it's very well configured to where you're like, oh, and then you can just kind of rip through it. Like I've learned so much. In just like a day, I learned how to do almost everything I needed to do. Okay, so pointer position desired. I'm gonna calculate that right here. Equals 1. Just so we're not breaking. And then this is, I mean, this is gonna break, but yeah. So essentially, I gotta go like ASAP, but essentially what we're gonna have is that there'll be a pointer that sits on the outside of this ring, and then I mean, maybe we'll do mouse. I could do mouse, but the whole game is not gonna be using your mouse, so I don't think I should do the mouse position. And so we'll use, thanks, Stefan. Thanks for watching, man. Yeah, I gotta hop off too, but yeah. So essentially, we use keys, and then you'll have, yeah, that'll be good because you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 directions you can aim at, which I think is good. Yeah, and you can use WASD or those keys, and so that'll take the input here, and yeah. So we'll just calculate the input vector. Fuck, I want to do this so bad right now. So say all, I don't know, var input. My girlfriend's gonna be so pissed at me. Var input vector equals, we'll do this. Vector 2 equals vector 2 dot 0. I can't do this to her. I say as I'm doing it to her. Input vector dot x equals. Am I not normalizing this? I'm not normalizing this, dude. How is it even working? Oh, because we're only using one, so that's going to be okay, right? Here, actually, I got to know right now what's... I don't even know how that's working. That shouldn't be working. Okay. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, make some lunch. I'll probably be back on like 1-ish. So.